Other interesting business news, you have Tesla exceeding their delivery estimates, which of course nothing makes Wall Street more jubilant or happy than seeing a company beating their expectations when it comes to revenue, profits, and for vehicle automotive companies, deliveries of units. Now, they reached a record for the second quarter. It was actually a 83% increase from Q2 last year, which is even more impressive. So this fiscal quarter, they completed a little bit more than 466,000 deliveries, and they produced a little bit over 479,000 vehicles, while the analysts on Wall Street were expecting that they would deliver about 445,000. Now, the reason they're able to push so many vehicles right now is partially because Elon's had many more variables when it comes to the initiatives, or more accurately, the discounts and the incentives to push the products. I mean, historically, you wind back the clock, 12, 18, 24 months ago, it wasn't like a traditional automotive company when they offer, here's a discount if you buy this month. It's kind of a pejorative thing in the automotive community where you think of just some silly guy in like I don't want to say a sleazy suit, but a unfancy suit. They talk about, come down to this automotive dealership. We got, $8,000 off in December or something like that, which, in my opinion, cheapens the brand. I understand they're trying to push inventory, but at the same time, to me, it just cheapens the brand when they do those types of initiatives. Now, other automotive companies are catching up to Tesla and their EV capabilities, and that's starting to put a little bit more of a threat of competition where traditionally they hadn't had to worry about that. You look back at the clock even earlier in the Tesla career, there was such an overwhelming amount of demand. They didn't not only did they didn't have to comprehend discounts because people were more than willing to pay six figures for an EV vehicle, but they just didn't have any vehicles laying around. Now, as an investor, this is good, but I'd also be concerned. Well, they delivered 466,000, but they produced 479,000 vehicles, and in IT, the whole industry and technology has moved to a just-in-time production. I think in terms of the historicals, Dell was probably the biggest company to first adopt this with Michael Dell and his startup, well, used to be a startup, where instead of producing, let's say, 1,000 laptops and throwing them in a warehouse and waiting for people to order them, you would have just-in-time inventory where you would wait for someone to order it, then you would produce it, thereby decreasing untold billions in assets that's held up there. Another issue about technology in particular, they depreciate quickly just because the cost of memory, RAM, processor, they all go down exponentially thanks to Moore's law, thankfully. It's one of those things where if those computers are in a warehouse for 1, 2, 3 months, they're becoming less and less valuable, but the costs are still there. You still have to pay that cost to produce them. Now, my concern with Tesla is they are much more of a technology company than an automotive company. Those vehicles, they don't age well, they don't age gracefully, in my opinion, partially because of the value that they just keep putting more and more tech in the vehicles, but it's also a double-edged sword. You don't want to see a Tesla vehicle on a lot for months or even a year, because the people purchasing the product will probably be concerned, what am I missing out on? It is absolutely correct. They can update many things through the software wirelessly, but there are hardware restrictions as well. So I'd be concerned they don't want to have an overglut or a overstock of these vehicles, which are basically pieces of technology. And even if it's not being charged, you still have to worry about the batteries getting a little bit old, and they are getting more robust as time goes on. But there's more variables to worry about than a traditional Chevy Tahoe or a Chevy Silverado, like a Chevy V8 truck. That could be on the lot for quite some time. Every year they add a couple more pieces of tech into it, but overall there's less variables changing in those vehicles. Wouldn't be that big of an issue. So time shall tell, but it's an interesting development, and it is an achievement of Tesla to hit for now. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget to take the time to like, subscribe, and comment. We have a goal of trying to get up to 3,000 subscribers in July. We really appreciate all of your help. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.